Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. Today I'm here with a video on the importance of having a schedule. Now, for a lot of entrepreneurs, especially real estate agents and professionals, having a schedule is crucial. I know a lot of people that'll jump into entrepreneurship from corporate America and they no longer have a time that they need to, clock in or sign in. They no longer have anybody caring if they're taking a sick day or time off, if they're showing up late. There's nobody to report to on when they can go take a break or whenever they can go ahead and leave the office, right? So unfortunately, when they transition into entrepreneurship, they figure, oh, I work for myself. I no longer have a boss. I'm going to go ahead and start at blank time. Well, it ends up being several hours later than what they wanted to start. They start work around noon. They work until about 3, and then it's like, oh man, I put in several good hours. I'm gonna go hit happy hour, right? And really didn't do anything productive throughout that time, right? So having a schedule, especially within our industry, will drastically start separating you and helping ensure a lot of your success. Now, a lot of agents have a hard time putting together a schedule. So this video is gonna give you some tips that we've implemented within our business that we teach to our agents to go ahead and help them not only be able to conduct their real estate business, but also still make time for their family, their hobbies, their health, their priorities, whatever's important to them, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and start with we calendar filter, meaning when somebody asks me, if there's something I want to go do or go to, I either have a hard hell yeah or hell no policy. Meaning, if you ask me if I want to go do something, I better be like, hell yeah, let's go, right? It's probably, resonates with one of my hobbies, one of my interests, one of my likes, depending on my season. So right now, this video, we're halfway through January of 2024. We have some big, audacious goals this year. So everything that I'm doing, I just reference on my calendar and on my goals. I'm like, hey, does this align with either, again, my goals, my hobbies, or my interests, right? I used to think I liked sports. I didn't. I like having drinks in social settings. So now when people ask me, hey, do you want to go to a football or a baseball or a basketball game? No, thanks, I'm good. I'd rather go take that 3 or 4 hours and go allocate it towards something that brings me more joy, maybe more time with my family, or be able to go, allocate that time towards getting my 2024 goals in line, right? So to me, it's easy. It's either a hell yeah or a hell no. Now, if it is a hell yeah, we put it on the calendar. So if it's a birthday party, a baby shower, it could be a date night, family night, whatever it is, right? Like if it makes it through that, filter, or if it's something I know I need to get done or that I need to be present there, I put it on the calendar, right? So I go ahead and schedule it. If possible, if there's other, attendees, I'll go ahead and shoot them the invite as well. That way they go ahead and put it on the calendar. All of our agents know this. All of our peers and colleagues know this. As soon as somebody tells me, hey, are you available this day and this time to do this? I take a look. As long as it, again, lines up, okay, perfect, I can go ahead and do it. I put it on my calendar. I go ahead and send the invite, and then I don't even think about it. Because I know that I made it through the filter. When the time comes for that, date or that time frame to come up, since it's already on the calendar and went through that filter, I go and I show. I don't doubt it. I'm not like, oh, well, I don't feel like I did then. Maybe it's cold outside or I'm just not feeling it. No, it already went through the filter, go and show, right? To me, that's helped start, kind of figuring out what's important, where I'm allocating my time, the actual activities that I'm doing day in and day out. And it's helped me, production-wise, drastically within our business. So once it makes it through the calendar filter, I'm gonna go ahead and now start backwards, right? I'm gonna start with ending the day. So right now it's about 6:45 here. Every day on my phone at 8 p.m., an alarm goes off that says reflect, plan, and execute. This has been a game changer within our business. It does several things and I'll kind of walk you through it. So reflect, it allows us to reflect on today, meaning did all my appointments get conducted? Did all my important tasks that I had set and scheduled get done? Did I, hit my targets or my daily goals? You should have micro goals that are daily goals to help us know if we're winning the day or, losing the day. And those should, we reflect on it, right? How do we know if the day was a win, right? Maybe it wasn't, right? Maybe there was, a fire that came up, a kid that got sick, maybe you got sick, right? Like life happens, I get it. That's why we reflect on it. Did everything get done? Was it a win or a loss? What came up? Was there anything I could improve or, fix or, kind of put in place to kind of help alleviate that? If it didn't get done, that's when we then start planning. I start looking at my next day. So it drives my wife crazy, it drives some of our friends crazy, but to me, I don't know what I'm doing the next day until that 8 p.m. alarm, because then I just take a look at my calendar, see what's going on, starts helping me prep for that day. I'm weird. I'm already working until summer, like scheduling things and getting things put on. So to me, the more that I think about it and keep doing it, it gives me anxiety, it stresses me out, to where this is just what works for me, right? So I'm just letting you inside my crazy mind, but that's what works, right? Is just putting it on the calendar, and then checking it the night before, so that way I could reflect, make sure that everything that needed to get done got done. That's how results start, compounding and building. If for any reason it didn't, especially if it was vital because it already made it on my calendar, if I couldn't get it done for any reason, I could then, while I'm planning, figure out where I can put it throughout that day. The goal is to have as least amount of white space on your calendar as possible. If you're putting your to-do list on your calendar, within our organization, we always say what gets scheduled gets done. So you start actually knocking out a lot more of your tasks. You actually start doing more productive, result-driven work, which starts yielding you results in production, right? So we go ahead and plan, see what the next day is going to look like, so that way maybe we have an open house, I can start prepping for that. Laying out my clothes. Maybe because I have the open house, I can't go to the gym, so maybe I need to pack a gym bag, right? So that way after the open house, I can get it in. Maybe I have several, buyer consultations tomorrow. So now I need to go ahead and get those paperwork, all printed up and all my, folders and files ready for each individual meeting. Maybe I have a listing appointment, right? To where I need to go ahead and get the listing paperwork and information ready, right? So it's just helping me plan and prepare for my day. So that way when I wake up, I'm not wondering, I wonder what I'm gonna do today, and already start off behind the 8 ball. Typically, if you wake up like that, you're typically, stressed, you're kind of rushing around, you were doing everything, half-assed at best. So you wanna already know what your day's gonna look like before you get into it. One of my mentors taught me you always wanna have your day committed to paper prior to that day. So you can write it out, but then put it on your calendar. So that way, again, you know what you need to do, you know how to prepare. Maybe you have, date night and it's, hey, I gotta, check out early today. Or maybe, kid has a recital or some type of presentation. Well, you should show up to that, right? That should be on your calendar so you know when to stop working, or when you're gonna be able to resume working, but then nothing gets missed, right? And then execute. If you reflect and you plan, it just makes executing that much more seamless, right? I personally feel that when I know what I got going on tomorrow, my brain already starts working on it, starts pumping it up. I start visualizing, that meeting going well, the clients loving me, loving the organization, just being all ecstatic about working with us. And it just makes that consultation easier because I've already kind of been rehearsing it and going through it in my head, right? So definitely something that'll help you start lining up your day. Now from there, it's then getting into your morning routine. Now, some people believe in it, some people don't. I'm just saying that for me, it works. There are certain things that I've already committed to or that I want to or need to get done before my day starts getting pulled in all these different directions from all these different people, right? I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a partner to a decent sized team. We have colleagues and peers that we're always, volleyballing back and forth, helping and coaching and kind of consulting, if you will. So I start getting pulled. So this morning routine is what helps keep my time guarded and allow me to get done the things that need to get done to grow and expand the organization as a whole. So just as a quick rundown, I can go over mine and you could take some type of variation with it, but I wake up every morning at 5. And by 5:30, typically my feet are on the ground. That typically gives me about an hour or so to do things around the house, help my son get ready for school. That's one of my commitments is I love taking him to school. So I make it a priority to take him to school every day. From there, I gotta then go to the gym and get some type of physical exercise in. I operate best when I get my workout in the morning, helps me stay more disciplined either with my diet, my water intake. I feel more energetic. I just, optimize, or I just work better and everything's more optimized when I have that energy after a good workout. While I'm at the gym, it's when I'm typically doing my gratitudes, my visualizations. I'm just getting my head right for the day. I don't just work on my body, I also work on my mind. So while I'm on the treadmill or doing the stairs, I'm also listening to an audiobook or a podcast, because that's when I'm getting my self-development in. You always want to be learning, growing, expanding, being better every day, right? Well, I don't want that to take away from my money making time and schedule. So I got to do it before the shop opens. So I go ahead and do all that, and by the time I get home, it's 8 in the morning, maybe about 8:15. We start getting our daughter up. She gets ready. My wife takes her to work, but then that's when I go ahead, take a quick shower, and go right to my office. From there, I know that my shop, and this is what gets into part 2. So that's my morning routine, right? You could do meditation, you could have your tea and coffee, you could do your journaling, right? Do what works best for you to put you in the most optimal state as possible. That's when I tend to see having those great days, right? Like, oh man, I got so many appointments set, I nailed those consultations. It's typically because, your morning was set up and structured, right? So from there, when does the shop open and when does the shop close, right? Like, yeah, that's when I wake up and that's when I'm, around, but I try not to start work until about 9:30, because all the time before then is, again, my family, my morning routine. That's, when I can get some quality time in with the family. When they come home, they have their own day, sports, activities, to where I don't want to be like, hey, well, this is what's convenient for me, so now you need to be available, right? So I got to accommodate on that. Well, I start my day at 9, but I won't take my first appointment until about 10:30, 11. And that's because that 9 to 10, that is when I'm doing my work. The important work that, helps the organization grow, helps get, the agents more experience, puts more resources, in their corner and pocket that's available to them to go help more clients, right? This is where if I'm taking a course or I needed to learn a new program or I needed to do something, that's my time that I'm able to go ahead and do it. Now, at 10:30 or so, from until about 8:30 at night, that is when my shop is open. Like, I don't mind working late. I really love what I do. I like to go that long because some of our agents are part-time. It's more convenient for them to jump on a one-on-one or a training or, just converse after hours, after their job. Some of them are involved with their kids' schools, their religious organizations. It's just, we like to be able to accommodate, right? So we still make sure that we handle, everybody during the day, but then it helps to where we can handle or, accommodate agents at night. But then also too, it's what am I doing while the shop is open and when the shop is, before it closes. So those should be, again, your money-making activities that are your vitals, right? Your lead generation, your lead follow-up, your appointment conduction, showings, and then negotiations, right? Whether that's on contracts, bids, or appraisals. As long as you're focusing on your main vitals, whatever your main vitals are, if you need help putting those together, we're always willing to help. Please reach out anytime. But as long as you're working on your main vitals, that's what then makes it a successful, productive day, right? That's what gets us results and productivity, as opposed to you were busy all day and really didn't do shit, right? So having a schedule and knowing when the shop opens and when the shop closes truly helps you start building a predictable and consistent business. Now, lastly, as long as you're doing that daily and you're reviewing it, then it prompts it back up for the reflect, plan, and execute, right? So that way you can see if it was a win or a loss, see where you need to calibrate or, course adjust, what needs to get rescheduled, right? So definitely, definitely helps, right? And then lastly so that would be day to day. Other than that, the only time I'm looking at my schedule is typically Sunday evening. So Sunday evening, about 6 p.m., I just do a quick overview of my week to see what that's gonna look like. to make sure that everything's in line. That's going to help me hit my micro targets, right? Do I have enough appointments scheduled? Do I have any white space on the calendar that I can try to fill? Well, what am I going to fill it with? Hopefully it's some type of, productive, result-driven work that's going to go ahead and, lead to more leads, clients, and business, right? So reviewing your calendar Sunday kind of then helps you plan and prep for the week, so that way you kind of know where things are at. But then also too, if maybe somebody reaches out, hey, can we get together for this appointment, or hey, I need this. Okay, cool, I got this day and this time available. You kind of know what your schedule's like. That way you can kind of go ahead and put that in place to go ahead and kind of, help you stay in line with that. And then lastly, the reason why I also like to tell our agents, tell our team, tell my wife, us, the reason why closing the shop is so important is because let's just say it is 8:30 for me, right? And I go ahead and the shop's closed. Well, if you have, I call it the closing the shop routine, right? Like to me, I visualize somebody turning off the neon open sign. Or light. They're turning the sign from open to closed. They're locking the door. They've already balanced out the cash register and put it all in the safe. They're making sure the doors are locked, right? Signifying that, hey, business is closed, right? Well, if we start putting together the same routine where our bodies start knowing, okay, we're done with work for today, everything is already set up and planned and set for tomorrow, it allows us to where when I go and then have dinner with my family, I can truly be present and be there. If I'm going out to have some drinks with the friends, I can truly be present and be there. If it's date night, I could truly enjoy and appreciate the time with my wife, right? If when I didn't have, the closing the shop process, I would be with my wife, but I wouldn't be with my wife. I would be out with my friends, but I would be on my phone. I might have been with the kids watching a movie or having dinner, but I'm thinking about this deal, or I'm, low key on my phone trying to, reach out to somebody, right? Like it helps you be present where you're at. So hopefully that, routine and schedule, just outline kind of helps you within your business, kind of helps you structure your day. If you have any follow-up questions, if there's anything that we can do to kind of help you get your day dialed in, to kind of help you, again, make the time for your business, but then also your hobbies, your health, your family, right? Like it's all important, right? It's life, right? So making sure that you're able to get it all scheduled and get it in sanely. If that's something we can help with, always reach out. That's what we're here for. Hope everybody's doing well. Talk to you guys soon.